Let's count them down together in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris! There you go, the Buko chant. It's a classic, man.
Oh, yeah, the classic Buko chants. You love to see it. Of course, a CTWC classic chant. And, you know, I'm hoping, this is a bit off tangent, really quick. I'm hoping that this year at CTWC, the Mario community brings out some chants as well. We've got some stuff lined up.
Oh, yeah. No, those guys were great. Just bringing that whole energy. It really felt like we were at a true, like, sporting event, right? And that's what we want.
Absolutely. And this tournament here has absolutely felt incredible. The energy has been amazing from the crowd and amazing from the players. So I'm looking forward to see what this final has to bring.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's been a long time coming. Again, our 3rd and 4th seeds advancing, getting the 2 upsets out of the semifinals. Right? We had Cole, the #1 seed, had put up a really hard-fought battle against Gwafey. And then, of course, you know, as we mentioned, you with Meme. You know, so it's been kind of a long weekend, I think, to say the least. And now this is where it all comes to a head.
Yep. And we have a $20 contribution to the prize pool by Robin and Stuff saying, great game, iBall. Go Canada. Thank you very much for the $20 to the prize pool. Of course, if you wish to donate to the prize pool and contribute to the players' earnings and also to the size of the prize pool and to what we all get, what helps us come to these tournaments and what helps us continue to play Tetris, feel free to do so. I think that's !Matcherino.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, or !M if you want to do shorthand.
Yep.
So, again, we appreciate every bit that comes in, you know, and again, really, this money will help the players, you know, make it to the World Championship. That's kind of where that money's going. It's a prize pool. You know, we want to see the best of the best in Pasadena this June.
Absolutely. And also, go Canada. I agree with that statement.
Man, what else we want to see, though, is Meme get out of this mess. And actually, as soon as I even started talking, these guys are pros, man. They before I could even comment on what was just happening with this stack, it's like nothing ever happened.
I know that far too well, especially in Meme's case here, of course. But Meme had a few digs against me, too, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more from both of these players in this game. Of course, Gwafey trying to show off what he's made of. I'm not sure if he's actually won a regional before. Has he?
Yeah, this sounds like a no. There you go. He's letting us know. No, he has not.
He's saying no. So this would be a big chance for him to win his first. And, of course, Meme has a reputation of winning a lot of regionals.
Yeah, plenty of accolades there. Yeah, right. Has won my Detroit regional, won the Milwaukee regional, the Midwest regional in Milwaukee, and there's probably a bunch that I'm forgetting about as well, right? But, you know, so yeah, she's won a number of regionals. Certainly one of the most winning players honestly, in Tetris in regional history, right?
Yup. But this game, it's kind of going the opposite way. Meme is down 4.5 Tetrises. That's around 100,000 points right in the beginning here. Yeah, and Gwafey's having to chuck all those long bars to the left. Wasn't Tetris ready to use them?
Yeah, crowd getting into it. But yeah, and honestly, though, like, when you can't use a bar, the left side is the next best thing. Just pile it above.
And I love the crowd getting into it here. Yup. And these players here, we have Gwafey with a truly, oh, wow, what a T-spin save from Gwafey there. Really showing what he's made of. Once again, this is him trying to prove to the world that he can win a regional event, that he's made for the big stage.
Yeah, no, he really, I mean, and honestly, I would even say his appearance at the World Championship this past year, again, when this matchup happened in the top 16, and since then, I mean, this man's been on fire, honestly, and all day long. You know, the fact, again, we're able to upend Cole, who is honestly, I would say, a tournament favorite. You know, ended up getting knocked out in semifinals. Like Gwafey, really, he's just these last few months, he's really made it a big name for himself.
Yep, and in the World Championship too, I will say he did give Meme a better battle than I did. So we're hoping to see a repeat of that, of course, in Tetris, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We hope for entertaining matches.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, that's all I can really ask, right? I mean, I may have different opinions as an organizer, but as a fan, I just want to see good matches, right? So right now, and speaking of good matches,
there's the bar spin from Gwafey there. So these clean solutions have allowed him to get to a 63,000 point lead. It's not as high as it was before. Meme was able to catch up a little bit, but Gwafey still with a pretty nice lead here, going to around 100 lines.
Yeah, there's a beat me to the punch there. We're getting ready to transition to the level 19 speed. We're going to see that speed increase by 50% here. So again, 130 lines that'll happen here. 416 Meme, 483 for Gwafey. As mentioned, it is about a 3 Tetris difference here, as you see on the bottom of the score there.
Yeah, Meme up high here in a dig, not able to use that long bar, but gets another one right away, so that's going to be very helpful for her. And Gwafey's board is just really low, really clean. He's looking at around a 570,000 transition pace here, and Meme is looking to eke out around 530. So Gwafey's going to have a lead going into transition, assuming, of course, no commentator's curse.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, he will get the Vits, but he will commit a war crime there. So, I mean, there's that. But, no, but certainly right now, as we get to the transition, Meme certainly, not in the best shape here. Probably going to be looking to squeak out about a 500K at transition here. And right as she is just trying to get out of the mess. There we go. Long bar going to come in. She's going to just go ahead and build on top of it here.
Yeah, and looking to get a row 2 here as well going into level 19. So obviously you want to be on the bottom going into the higher transition speeds. And the board isn't terrible for her, but it's not what you want to see. And meanwhile, Gwafey has a beautiful stack. That double well, if he tops up from this double well, that's just the definition of a skill issue, but obviously I don't think he will.
Yeah, no, these two are too skilled, right, to have said skill issue, right? They're gonna do their thing here.
Speaking of a skill issue, though, that missed square to the left side could be counted as one, and he needs to find a clean solution to get out of this, and that's going to give Meme the opportunity to get some score back here.
Yeah, without question. That T was not what Gwafey was looking for there to try and resolve that. And now he's gonna be mired by some burns here.
Yeah, that second T was a lot more helpful. Fix the stack, then the bar right after. Yup. And it looks like he's going to be on pace to get out of this. While Meme, meanwhile, is scoring Tetris. Now she's only down by 9,000, 10,000 points here.
Yeah, it is neck and neck, as they say. Fans love that.
Yep, less than a Tetris separating them, and they're almost at the same line count. Meme's ahead by 2 lines right now, so this is almost as even as you can get.
Yeah, it's about as close as you can get. I mean, again, in the finals. As right now, Gwafey is built up a bit high. Now, keep in mind here, Meme is ahead by a few lines on account of some of the burning going into the 19 transition. The pieces were falling faster, so that's going to be kind of...
Ooh, and gets the bar. That is very lucky for Meme. Of course, Vits is one of the most aggressive setups you can possibly make in NES Tetris, but still not able to get another bar after that. And the board's up. Oh, board's up really high. Drought going to 20 pieces now for Meme. And this board needs to get a bar. Gets a very nicely timed bar. Square to left might help with that.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, these pieces are rough right now for Meme.
All those L's are not what you want to see.
Rotation.
Oh, no! Meme's going to top out at 757,000. Gwafey takes game number 1.
In a 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Yeah, and of course, as we are getting underway game number 2, it is 1-0 for Gwafey. And we do want to shout out a big direct contribution here to our prize pool. $112.33 from Cody Bolin. Says, go Meme, go Gwafey, go iBall, go Tetris. Hell yeah. He didn't say the last part. And of course, some other contributions as well. Someone who did say, yeah, Tetris, Cox Danny J with a $10 direct contribution. We got Trebus with a $7.43 direct contribution. And Cheese Whiz says, good morning, and a $20 direct contribution. So thank you so much. We have reached the $1,500 prize pool in USD.
Woo! Remember, that's USD, so for someone like me, a Canadian, that's like probably $10,000 on those. Big number.
Yeah, right, something like that.
Something like that. But anyway, both of these players are off. Meme got into a little bit of a dig early on, so once again, that's going to allow Gwafey to take an early lead. Of course, we're very early into this match, right? So things can change, but both players with pretty clean stacks, looking to keep piling on the Tetrises and get ready for level 19.
Yeah, and again, certainly I expect we'll see a longer game this time around. We made a bit through 19, and honestly, at this phase of the game, right, when you got players at this caliber, when you top out at any point before really 29, like that kind of almost feels like that's an early top out. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you would agree with me on that.
Absolutely, right? It takes, for most of these top players, it takes some terrible P sequence or some unfortunate misdrops to top up before any level, honestly, before level 30. That's what it's gone to at this point. I remember I played Dog in CTM, and I got a few level 30 top outs, and those felt like early top outs. And for these players, of course, surviving on 29 is so important to score points, but also to chase down, right? If you're behind in lines and your opponent tops out before you do, even if you're ahead or behind 150,000 points, right? That leeway you have in the line count really allows you to catch back up.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes all the difference in the world. again, just being able to have the board under control and being able to utilize those extra lines that you have post 29 to be able to keep scoring. But speaking of scoring, we are about 50 lines through this one. It is less than a Tetris the difference right now as Gwafey will take the lead, 238 to 237. iBall, it is neck and neck.
Absolutely neck and neck here. Meme having to do a few burns, it's going to be 2 lines. And, of course, this game, with how close it is, those 2 lines do make a difference, folks. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it could. I was literally just going to say, that could make all the difference as provided both players get all the way.
Oh, look at that. They are tied.
Oh, yeah. Push down. Someone push down.
Unfortunately, these players, there we go. These players don't run the 37 push-down point strategy that I do. Shouts to Kriller. But there are a few players that do run push-down. I know Sidnev goes for 1 point of leniency, of certainty, just in case. You never know sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time this happened, but there has been at least like 1 tied game before, I want to say.
Oh, yeah. There was a side event back at CTWC 2018. It was the, what was it? Was it no rotation? I think it was no next box, excuse me, as I'm being corrected. Thank you. It was a no next box tournament where you didn't see what the next piece was, and they were, for some reason, decided to play it on level 18, and there was a tie game. It was like, I think it was Alex Kerr, and I forget who the other guy was, but they tied. And the very next game, Alex made sure to push down 11 points just to make sure that wouldn't happen again.
Right? I don't think we've seen anything like that with rolling in the rolling era, but who knows?
No, not recently.
Not recently, but who knows? Anything is possible, right? But right now, these players are so close right now, only separated by a Tetris pretty much. Yeah, Gwafey's going to score that, and only had by 1,000 points at the same line count. That's unreal.
Yeah, it really is. As we are starting to approach that 19 transition, we're about 90 lines through. So about 40 lines to go till we get to the 19 speed. We see that speed increase again. It is about a 2 Tetris lead here for Meme.
Yeah, this board not good, but the S-spin is not hit. And that S-spin, if she did hit that, could have saved her a bunch of burn lines, and now gonna have to deal with the consequences of that. Choosing the... Yeah, she's going to set this up here. Just needs a well-timed bar.
Oh, yeah, she's setting it up.
Ooh.
Oh, man, that board's jagged.
Gets that. That's a crucial J left.
Yeah, guess what? No bar coming. Finally shows. There's a Tetris. She'll go to 481. Again, building like 4 rows off the bottom, but just that close to the top on the left.
Yeah, but a bar right now would be a perfect well transfer.
Oh, my God.
And the T-tuck. You don't need to spin that one, folks.
Wow. Nicely done. That was like textbook right there.
But because of that, Gwafey now has a small pace lead on Meme. I'd say around 2, maybe 2.5 Tetrises, and that will matter going into level 19 here, as Meme's looking around 2 more Tetrises, just under 600K, and with Gwafey, he could hit 600K, potentially 630.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty high-octane game, certainly a higher scoring game than game number 1. They're finding their groove. We got just a few lines left to go.
I love that T overhang from Meme. There's so many ways to burn out of it. Such as that.
Like that, yeah, right there.
I think that's one of the most underrated moves. I'm a big advocate for that.
Oh, no, I agree. That one, I don't feel like you see it as much.
Yeah, and see, Gwafey's doing it as well.
Yeah. So here we go. Mima's transition. Wow. 605 is her score right now. She's burned a few lines since then.
Yep, great transition.
Gwafey, if he can get this last Tetris, could get ahead of that in pace. And there we go. We'll get a 617. Man, we got a hot one here, iBall.
Absolutely, and Gwafey had some incredible adjustments right before the transition as well. That's what I was kind of oohing and awing at there. Gwafey's been playing Why did I say anything?
yeah, before you can even finish the sentence, right? Wow, he's been playing great, man, and then just immediately.
That's only going to be a 3, potentially 4 burn solve here. Yeah, it's going to be a bit more than that with the pieces that he got, but that's still very efficient with what he was given.
I was going to say, maybe he could have went long bar flat there. I don't know that it would have necessarily made it quicker, but that was something I noticed. I was a little surprised he didn't go for it.
Yeah. But yeah, the stacking from Gwafey has been incredibly impressive. And of course, we know what Meme brings to the table. Meme's been playing a very solid game so far, hoping to kind of avenge that early top out from the first game.
Yeah, and right now, again, she is enjoying about a 2.5 Tetris lead at the moment now, about a 3.5 Tetris lead. It's 816 to 751. And, if you're looking at, maxing out, getting that 1,000,000 points before 29, these are certainly well ahead of pace for that. So just keep an eye on this. This will be a hot one.
Yep, so right now we have Meme with the current score lead at around 1.5 Tetrises, but Gwafey here is behind by about 6 or 7 lines. Oh my goodness. I said that accidentally, Wallbant. But yeah, Gwafey's behind in lines, which means that he's able to actually score more points as the game goes on. So it's very marginal right now, but on 29, being behind in lines make a huge difference when Tetrises are worth 40,000, 50,000 points around there.
Yeah, you know what, like, if you're in a position when your opponent tops out and you're behind, you know what you need to chase down. Like, okay, how aggressive do I need to play? It's almost like Harry Hong back in the day, which is why he would push down. So, I mean, he would, or rather, how you would play against Harry Hong, excuse me. That was how you would play against Harry Hong. It's like, okay, he's pushing down. He's going to get to the end quicker. I know what I need to be able to win.
Gwafey setting up a few scary overhangs here, but gets the right pieces for them. He made a few great adjustments to accommodate S pieces earlier on, and right now that left side for Meme's not good. Gets a T piece. That T piece will help a lot. Now Meme's board going to get cleaned up a little bit. And we have a max out for Meme as well. On level 26, that's a very efficient max out. Anything I'd say before 27 is where the players are playing very, very efficiently for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And here we go. Gwafey not far off. He's at 977 here. She needs a couple, not a couple, just another Tetris here.
One more Tetris will do it for him, yep.
So here we go.
Although this board,
he burned too early on that.
Yes, a bit of lack of foresight there from Gwafey, and he's going to need to find some right pieces to dig out of this. Chooses not to make the bar dependency, but makes it anyway with a different piece. But that's going to work out for him. Just needs one more J to the left. Gets it. Opens up the well, waiting for the Tetris. And will it arrive? There it is.
There we go. He's got it. Double max out.
Yep, double max. But in the meantime, Meme has been absolutely pushing the pace here. 1.249 into level 29. And Gwafey here, looking at her 1.1, still incredible, but Meme's 1.25 is very good.
Oh, hold on. She's in some trouble here. She's trying to burn this out. She's got to be careful here. I mean, and right now, knowing that she has the lead might be worth just burning this away, and she's doing just that right now.
Absolutely.
Just lining it out. She knows she's got well over 100,000 point, 150,000 point lead here.
Yeah, Gwafey getting into a kind of scary transition, but he played that incredibly well, chose some safe burns. It gets a Tetris
nice.
as a reward for that. And Meme here kind of going all in for a Tetris, gets it, but no, missing that J left. Can
we get the LB?
Chooses not to. Wow, that's some ballsy player. Will it work out? It can.
Oh my God.
Something left. Guess a J. But misses it. The L flat's going to work. Needs something for the left. I don't know what. No, hangs the long bar. Gwafey here, your chase down is 150,000 points. You need 1.36 to take it. Set up for a Tetris here.
Oh, but guess what? No bar coming so far. Finally shows there's a Tetris. 90,000 points to go.
Yup. This can be lined up with that bar. No. This is a very tight input.
That's difficult.
And he misses it
again.
Gwafey fails the chase down in game number 2. Had the leeway, but didn't take it. And you can see the emotion from him here. Wow. What a game number 2 here, folks. Holy cow.
Let's carry on in a 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Of course, game number 3 is a pivotal game because if you win it, you're up 2-1. You can afford to kind of mess around in the 4th game if you wish. Of course, I wouldn't recommend doing that, but if you get into a dig early on or something, you have a bit of leniency, right? You have a bit of assurance behind you that you have one game to tank, right? So this game number 3, absolutely pivotal.
Yeah, no, without question. Yeah, obviously, like you say, you don't want to throw it if you don't have to, but it almost kind of takes that pressure off.
Absolutely.
To have to be like, okay, I have to just win at all costs. But on the flip side, though, you can almost kind of get into a rhythm when you're in that situation, too. Like, okay, let's just take this one game at a time. I got to win this one, and then we'll worry about the next one later, right?
Absolutely, right. And, of course, the mental player of Tetris, that's something I care about quite a lot, but it's a big part of the game for sure. And you see some players who are favorites going into tournaments, get knocked out in the semifinals or I guess you could say that about me. No,
but sometimes earlier than that in some cases, right?
But, of course, sometimes upsets do happen, right? That's where the mental part of the game is huge. And speaking of huge, that middle board for Gwafey is not looking too good, but that bar will be great help. And chooses to put the bar in the middle. I do agree with that. It does look kind of jank, but you don't want to make a bar dependency on the left there, and that's going to help clean his board out. But in that dig, Meme has been able to get up to an early lead here around 2 Tetrises.
Yeah, so looking good there. And, as soon as I say that, right, misdrop of the J on the left side, but should be able to resolve that pretty easily here. Again, just maybe a couple burn solve here. Yeah, there we go.
Choosing to take kind of the long way home there, but, of course, one of the main goals here is to not top out early. We might actually see some center well action here from Meme. Yeah, gets the J piece.
Oh, yeah, no, she's getting the pieces for it. And, Yeah, that's kind of a thing. Like sometimes it's worth going for that. The common wisdom will tell you, no, just set up for the right well to standard on the right side of the stack, since the long bar favors that side as it rotates. But those are situations like, hey, if the game's giving you pieces to go for the center well, and like that's what the game's like, sometimes you just got to work with it.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes as well with center wells, you get to transition your well cleanly back to the other side of the board, right? That's what a lot of the top players try to do whenever they're given the right pieces to go for center wells, right?
Yeah.
And as you can see here, Meme got out of that center well, is now back to the right side here, and Gwafey kind of doing a different type of strategy where he's on row 2 after getting some unfortunate pieces. So we're seeing a bit of contrast. Oh, wow, what a vids for Meme there.
Yeah, so we're looking good here. We're neck and neck. We're about 50 lines through. It is about a half Tetris difference, and as Gwafey will take the lead with that one. So it's just, this one looking like it'll go back and forth, provided both players can continue to score here.
Yep, Meme getting the L piece for the tuck, chooses to put the bar left. That's the safe move there. And it's definitely the move you want to make in competition when you're in game number 3 and you don't have anything to really fall back. Well, I mean, kind of do, but not as much as if you're up 2-1.
Right, yeah, certainly. And, again, this all comes with experience, right, which these two players definitely have.
Absolutely.
And certainly, we watched these two play even before this tournament, right? We saw them play at the Friday Night Fights last week, where they were playing in a preview show. We had a preview show this past Friday. If you want to check out the VOD after this, certainly I implore you to do so. But
I agree.
But they both really, I felt, kind of played out of their minds. Like Gwafey had a pretty good couple of games. I mean, there was like maybe a stinker or two here and there, but like overall, like had a really good set. And it just really showed like, hey, I'm still here. I'm ready to go.
Yep, and this is Gwafey's real chance of proving to the whole Tetris community that he can ride with the top players here. He can really put up a good match against anyone, potentially win, right? This is what he has to prove. Meme's already done that countless times before. It's Gwafey's turn now to see what he can do.
Yeah, and right now he is backed by now ahead by about a quarter of a Tetris here.
Yeah, these players looks like they're going to be exchanging the lead back and forth for quite a while here. Gwafey needs to spin. He
can spin on top of that.
Wow, that's an interesting way of solving it. I don't hate it. He just needs a bar. That's the thing, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, really the question is, was it intentional, right?
Yeah, right. And he gets 3 bars. It almost looked like it was going to be unlucky, but it turns out working out in his favor. Those squares aren't going to help him, but that L will.
Yeah, right now he's still pretty high up. Obviously, as a roller, you're going to be able to handle a lot of these situations, but certainly, that's certainly not where you want to be. You definitely still want as low a stack as possible.
Yeah, let's see if he burns this. He's going to, so he's going
Yeah.
to try and take the board down to the bottom. But that little sequence Gwafey had, even if he was scoring Tetrises, he was taking more burns just because he was high up. And now Meme is ahead by a Tetris and a half, but has to take a few burns here for herself. So looks like things are going to even out going into 29.
Yeah, and
19.
yeah. Whoa, wait, no. This is another one of the situations though where Gwafey kind of just took what the game gave him. It's like, all right, if it gives me the opportunity to take the burn, I'm going to take the burn real quick. And as Jonas would always say, really one of his rules of thumb was really, if it's about like 3 or so burns or less, like that's kind of a good point to, okay, let's just go ahead and take them, right? Not just, because you don't want to be just sitting there all day and just burn and burn and burn away, right? You don't want to be the burn wizard over here, right? So, it's.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, both these players. Meme is looking to gun for a 630 transition rate here. Needs the 2 more Tetrises, has 0 burns for it. And Gwafey here with the next Tetris will go in at 580. So both these players with a very solid game. I'd say 600K is obviously the benchmark for a great transition, but just under that too, you don't complain about that at all, especially in
certainly not. Yeah, certainly not. As Meme will get there, 618. Tetris Gwafey will get a 582, so very solid games all around.
Yeah, separated by around 2 Tetrises going into the transition here. Gwafey getting a few right off the bat. We'll see Meme match through if that, assuming the bars line up for her the same way, and they do.
Yeah, there we go. Tetris Meme. She will keep on keeping on here at 693. Gwafey not
Great
far behind.
I love that adjustment from Gwafey to get Tetris ready slightly earlier.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. These players in the finals, they're proving why they're in the finals here, Burb.
Yeah, that's why they're so fun to watch. It's, especially as someone that has also played, right? It's like, oh man, I would have never thought of that. It's just a lot of things that
right?
The average player, even the average player, not even just the average person, wouldn't have thought of.
Right. Yeah, and right now, Meme getting some good pieces to resolve those little overhangs she made, and is Tetris ready with a very nice board. Same with Gwafey. Gwafey is down by 64,000. Next Tetris, it's going to be Yeah, he's down by one.
Tetris.
Yeah, he's down by 1 Tetris in pace right now. So that means, for those of you who don't know how pace works, going into level 29, he'll be down a Tetris in points, even at the same line count.
Yeah, as now the line count is kind of evened out here, so you can see that in real time. As we are approaching, we're on level 23 here. We're just about halfway to the level 29, right? As again, players are just it's kind of interesting, right? It's at this point where it's like, man, even the 19's almost as good as the 18, but you never know though. Even for the best players, they could be thrown off, as we saw in that game number 1.
Yep.
And and again, these two are just really going to have to just keep on the aggression here because neither player is giving an inch right now.
Yeah. And right now, Meme has had back-to-back great games of pace here, getting another game with pace that could be a 1.2 into level 29. But Gwafey's board here, up high with some burns, but he's taking some great flat burns.
Yeah, love that
here.
long bar flat there. I know King is too.
Ooh, those S's and Z's are not gonna work out too great, but finds a nice solution, bringing the board down. Needs one more burn to get Tetris ready. Takes it.
Love it. Yeah.
But in that burn sequence, right, Burb, he's down over 100,000 points now. Yeah, and we have a max out for Meme as well on level 26. Back-to-back 26 max out games here for Meme. Extremely impressive.
Yeah, very efficient play, and that's how winners are made. That efficient level of play that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, with consistency too.
Yes, absolutely. Tetris Gwafey, in the meantime, he's at 950, 1.1 million the score for Meme. So Gwafey, as we start to approach that level 29 iBall, he's certainly going to have some work to do, and may have to step on the aggression a bit. Probably may not necessarily have a lot of time to just feel out what Meme's going to do.
And the crazy thing is here, Gwafey is actually still able to get around a 1.1 into. He'll be just behind that. And with adjustments like that, right, he's trying to do his best to get there. But Meme here has just been playing out of her mind. Yeah, she's gunning for another almost 1.25 transition.
Almost got it. Yeah, wow.
So it's back-to-back mid 1.2 transitions here for Meme. And Gwafey goes in at just under 1.1, which is still a very good game from Gwafey, no doubt. But Meme has just been on another level in this pre-transition.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. It's about a 4.5 Tetris difference. We're on level 30.
Ooh, aggressive center wall setup there for Meme. Gets the Tetris up to 1.3. And Gwafey hasn't scored one yet on level 29. So he's going to be looking to do so as soon as he can because this score deficit is not easy. Ooh.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to know, okay, how much do I commit to a certain setup? How aggressive do I get before I start burning away? And right now, these pieces not so friendly. Meme's board getting a little spicy.
That drought, that's a 30-piece
Gets the
drought.
Tetris, though.
Great survival for Meme to navigate a 30-piece drought there. And because Gwafey's behind in lines, actually, he knows there's a drought coming up. So, decides to, I think, was that a triple?
I think that was,
so you see, right, because he's behind in lines,
Meme, Meme's in trouble here. Catch you get out. The bar comes just in time. Very clutch RNG there. And clutch moves, too.
Yep.
Yeah. Now Gwafey's starting to run into problems with these same pieces right now.
Yeah, but Gwafey taking this very well, taking this board down and getting a Tetris out of it, too. He's playing pretty solid in terms of trying to catch up to Meme. I love that flapper.
Yeah.
And he's getting rewarded for that. Holy cow, that was a great move from Gwafey.
Yeah, of course, the problem is for him now, he is starting to run out of time here, iBall. We've only got a few levels up for the level 39 super kill screen here.
Yep, and that's not going to be a Tetris. That's going to be a triple. So, he has to burn out of this if he wants to stay efficient. And Meme's lead here is substantial. It is.
And it's increasing.
Wow, 1.6 on level 37 for Meme. Gwafey.
That left side's game inaccessible, and he'll be finished at 1.3.
Incredible game from Meme there. I think she's going to continue. Yep, we're looking at a potential 1.8 here, folks.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. She's going for it.
Can we see the highest score of the day?
Yep, one more Tetris will do it for the 1.8. She's ready. Where's the bar?
There
it is, 1.8 in competition.
All right, let's count them down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris!
We have a great crowd here today in person for the finals. We got a bunch of people, a lot of Tetris players, but a lot of other people around just from the convention looking to see what's this classic Tetris thing, right? What's going on here? And I think we're getting a great performance from both of these players so far to really show what the esport is what it's made of.
Yeah, what it's all about. And, certainly, yeah, they've given them a good run for their money. But they're getting their money's worth, right?
Oh,
by
yeah.
checking this out, man. It's a good use of their time and, making it worth it. So.
Yep. Yeah, and we have Gwafey here who had to kind of start off the game making a hole in his stack. And, of course, stuff like that is how Meme was able to pace so much ahead of him in the first game. So Gwafey's looking to kind of get that out of his system, get the burns out of his system early on and lock in for the rest of the game. That square's not going to be helpful, though. So, yeah, he's going to need to burn out of this a little bit.
Yeah, and in the case of Gwafey, as we've seen, certainly like the last time these two faced off, as well as and it's just in general, certainly a very big personality, right? In terms of how he handles everything that's going on. So we'll see if he can stay composed. He's been more composed, I think, just in general as of late. Certainly we saw glimpses of that on Friday, and we've seen that today. So I think if he's going to win this match, that I think is going to be key as well.
Yep. One of the main things Gwafey has, of course, he's a great player, but I think from what I've seen from him, I think he does have a great mental game when it comes to Tetris. I think that he understands, the mentality he needs to have, but unfortunately, both of these players' boards actually are very high up. Gwafey's more so here.
Yeah, there we go. Nice dirty Tetris from Gwafey.
Yeah,
several rolls off the bottom.
And the well transition back to the right side as well. So both of these players are getting out of their sticky situations early on and getting the boards back to a clean state.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, some early burning going on right now. Again, it is tense in here, man. It is 2-1. Meme on the verge of potentially becoming our champion here once again. Of course, right now we got a simul Tetris coming in. It is just about a Tetris and a half the difference, and currently it is Meme with the lead.
Yup. And Meme's board here once again. We've actually seen Meme get into a few poor stack situations, and she's been able to get out of them with some efficiency, and Gwafey just hasn't really been able to capitalize on them as much as he'd hoped to do. So because of that, despite Meme's burning, she's not really going to lose too much of her advantage here over Gwafey, but also that drought doesn't really help Gwafey's case of catching up either. Yeah,
no, certainly not. But of course, they were both able to utilize the bar that came in, and it is under a Tetris the difference right now as we're about 60 lines through. And right now, again, these are just beds of very, very clean boards all around. And, of course, I do want to shout out some contribution to the prize pool here. We got the name is cut off. It was a $20 direct contribution from XX. Yeah, Dad Enjoyer. Dad Enjoyer here.
What a username.
Yeah, that was a very fun username. But it says, "Go Meme, rip Canada, frowny face."
Well, Canada as a country is alive, doing pretty good for itself, but
yeah, I would say so. I mean, this is my first time here, and I mean, from what I could tell, you would know better than me, I guess, but
no comment. But I mean, but in terms of the tournament here, unfortunately, I'm in the commentator's booth for the final and not in the final itself. But we're still getting a great match from these players here, and it's showing, the expertise of Tetris from the Northeast region, right, and from Canada all around. Even though there's no Canadians in the final, right, Burb? It's still the Canadians put up a great fight throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, and they always do, and there's this regional in particular, right? Toronto is in. Oh wow, what a solve!
What a solve for Meme.
Oh man, sorry, I had to point that out. But no, as I was saying, Toronto itself being in such a good spot, it's not so much that a ton of us live here, right? I know I don't, but enough of us are within a pretty easy. It's easy to get here for a lot of us. So I think that really has contributed to the turnout today and has contributed to it's contributed to a great event. But what's not so great, iBall, is this board from Meme right now.
We've actually seen a few double flips like that from her recently, and because of that, she's gonna have to center well in the middle of the stack. Gets it. So the efficiency from Meme, despite these misdrops, has still been very, very impressive. And Gwafey's board has been staying pretty clean throughout, but despite that, Meme with a bit of hiccups here and there, it still has a 15,000 point lead, and it's a real lead as well. They're tied in lines pretty much.
Yeah, as that transition's coming up, that first speed increase to level 19, that's going to be key that our players stay in control, keep their boards under control, and not necessarily try to go too aggressive for setups before we get there. Even the best players, if you're really high up on the board, it's not hard for a top out to happen.
Absolutely, especially once you get to level 29, right? One misdrop, one move that you weren't expecting to happen, whether it's from your controller or from lack of vision, right? That one little mistake can make the difference, absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of which, this tower of S pieces, this is not what you want to see another S piece.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I think the game just decided, oops, all S pieces. My word.
Yeah. And as a player, right, you expect when you stack, you expect to have maybe 1 or 2 S pieces come around every now and then. But when you get such a burst like that, right, no one's prepared for that. You have no choice but to either burn or make a big tower. And Gwafey choosing the efficient route there, but despite that, he's going to be down around 3 Tetrises, 2 Tetrises going into the 19 transition.
Yeah, no, I think Game 8 was trying to make the CN tower there, you know.
I was actually there yesterday. They have a glass floor you can stand on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's tall. It's a very tall building.
Yeah, it looks like a very tall building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be visiting probably on my way out tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is a Canadian propaganda or not, but I was told it was like the tallest building in North America at one point.
Oh, yeah, someone's going to have to Google that.
Someone has to Google that. I don't know.
Oh, man. But anyway, we got 604 for me, 523 for Gwafey in this potentially deciding game if Meme is able to hang on to this lead. Yeah, and of course, looking at the transition scores, yeah, again, in terms of pace, it's been pretty good from both players all around. Of course, Meme did have about a 2 Tetris lead at the transition. Certainly, so far, has been able to maintain that.
Yup, Gwafey now just down 1 Tetris in terms of pace here, but that's still a real lead for Meme. And although Gwafey is doing,
oh no, that T's been missed. That might have been costly there.
Yeah, right. Like stuff like that, you know, a spin like that can make the difference in a game. Having to burn a few extra lines, right? Missing a spin like that, that was the few extra lines, right? So, you know, Gwafey's gonna have to make that up now, whether it's through Meme's end misdropping, getting into a dig, or through some more efficient play in the later levels.
Yeah, really. I mean, as per usual, right? It's always going to come down to that level 29, and kind of looking at runways here, you know, Meme with about a Tetris advantage in the runway there has a slightly higher scoring potential right now, but these pieces are not going to help with that.
Ooh. Yeah, and when she gets out of this, she's going to need a bar and catch the bar right away. Wow, that was extremely good RNG for Meme there, and now she just needs to, yeah, she's going to choose to plug that up.
Nicely done.
Great play. And gets another Tetris out of that. So Meme, despite getting that scary dig, actually doesn't lose a whole lot of pace here. And Gwafey's still down by around 1 Tetris in terms of pace. So really, the score lead is about the same right now, Burb.
Yeah, but now he's starting to close in. 25,000 points the difference. The line counts are similar.
And Meme doing all of these random Tetrises, left well, center well, 2 rows off the bottom. And she's setting up again here. Oh. The double flip monster coming back again, but she's still Tetris ready.
Oh, but it comes a piece too late. But that's honestly not the worst thing, though, because she's able to fill out that left side.
It's a great move if you don't get a bar as your very next piece, Burb. But, yeah, she's still waiting on the center wall. That's one of the downsides of moving your stack around. And again, the bar comes just 1 piece too late. So there we go, finally getting a Tetris out of that.
Yeah, we'll see if Gwafey can capitalize here, because he's still hasn't been burning as much as Meme has these last few lines.
Yeah, he's going through the drought, but the Tetris does come for him. And yeah, she's going to take a safety triple. He had the leeway going into 29 to do that. So Meme going in with a low 1.0. That's a max out for Meme going into level 29. And Gwafey here looking to just be slightly behind that going to level 29 here.
Yeah, he's got 1 Tetris left. He'll get it. There we go, 988. And off they run, iBall. This is it. Can Gwafey stay alive?
Yup, that's the goal here for him, right? Of course, down 2 games to 1. This level 29 is do or die for him here. And yeah, you see he's setting up here. He's not choosing to go for the triple with the bar. He wants the Tetris here. Ooh, needs to take the burns, though. And once again, the bar arriving a bit late. Meme with a kind of a tricky stack here, though.
Ooh, that Z kind of sucked for the board that she has.
Yeah, but both players not with a great side. Oh, Gwafey's misdrop. Oh, no. Gwafey's behind. Oh,
that could spiral out of control. It is done. And 1,083,000 and a simul top out. And Meme with the lead is your inaugural CTWC Toronto champion.
Oh, my goodness. What a finals. So, Gwafey, is this your second regional you've been vlogging?
Yes, this is the second one.
So how'd the first one go with the vlog?
First one, I was really confident, and then after my match against you, my controller started having problems. I had to replace my pads, and I had to get used to new pads, and because of that, I couldn't make it far into the tournament. But this time, no controller issues, no issues whatsoever. I was super confident, super happy to be here, and yeah, everything just went correctly.
Yeah, so you had an incredible bracket run. Let's go through it, making it all the way to the finals. What kind of opponents did you have to face to get this far?
So I had Salted Sofa, who is a DAS player, and one of the best at DAS, and I was able to deal with him pretty quickly. And then I had Cobra, who is a much tougher opponent. Cobra honestly is better than me. He should have beat me. He won Boston. It was like a Boston rematch, so that was a very fun one. I was able to beat him 3-0 as well. And then I had Coal Bucket, the #1 seed. The best way to beat Coal Bucket is just to get in his head. He when it comes to the mental game, I'm better than him at that. I knew just play the game, I was perfectly fine. And then meme's too good. I can't beat her.
Yeah, I mean, this was a rematch between you and Meme. You faced her in CTWC last year. How did it feel getting another shot at Meme?
I don't know. It was really just another opportunity. It was just grand finals to me. It didn't really, it wasn't like the mindset of, oh my god, the CTWC rematch. It was just grand finals to me. It didn't hit like that.
So, yeah, you've had quite a journey coming up through these regionals. You appeared, I think your first ever one was the Northeast.
Yes.
Several years ago, you went out in the first round, and it's been a journey for you slowly climbing the ranks of the scene. You cracked in to the top 8s, you cracked into higher rankings at TWC, you cracked the top 25 of the Ryan Amergy Power Rankings.
The only one that matters. The only one that matters.
And now here you are in the finals of a regional. How can you speak to how your game has grown over the past couple years and what steps you think you've taken to get to this level in the game?
It really was just playing the game more. That's about it. Like, whenever I do something cool, like I get a new personal best or I beat an opponent who's better than me, I always think, this is cool, but I can do better. I always try to figure out what I'm doing or what my opponents are doing that I'm not, and gradually just building off of that.
So, is this your first time in Toronto?
This is my first time playing Tetris in a different country.
Oh my goodness. So, what's the experience been like for you at Toronto, at this venue, and for the venue itself?
So, we got to go see CN Tower. I was in the Uber with you, as well as Cobra, and it was a really fun experience. iBall, Dangler, the Martz family was there. Who else was there? Cole was there, that guy, yep. And yeah, if I'm missing anyone, I'm sorry. Tired was there as well. And yeah, the CN Tower was super fun. We also me and Cobra also played some Taiko, which is on the other side of the expo. Yeah, this weekend was really fun.
So, it's another topic I'd love to talk to you about. So, as we know, Dog got Rebirth, reached the end of the game. Tetris has been completed. Right? There's nothing more?
Are we sure about that? So, the reason Dog was able to get the Rebirth is because he had a modified version of the game that turned the game crash triggers off. And I have been grinding, trying to play Tetris with the crash triggers on. I've been the first person to make it past the Hell levels, which is the last 6 levels of the game, which are the hardest to get by on non-modified hardware, and I was the first one to do it by flashing the next box and abusing pause buffering. And I was also able to get through the first 20 levels, 154 to level 174. That's the first phase of crashes, and then it's the 800 lines level, and then the 6 levels of Hell, and that's pretty much it.
So what makes the 6 levels the levels from Hell?
Every time you place a piece down, the game will crash.
So how did you practice to be able to be the first one to beat that on console?
Everyone's looking at the sheet oh, you place a piece and the game crashes. I looked at it and it's I could figure out a way to get out of this, and that's when I just I could just abuse the pause button, and that works just fine.
So, what's next for Gwafey? What events are you hoping to attend this year?
Well, obviously I'm going to be attending CTWC 2026. My goal was to make top 8. I barely missed it last year, but I think I can do it this year.
So, do you have any shout-outs you want to give as a finalist for the Toronto Regional?
All right, so I want to give a shout-out to Cobra. He's the person who I've been hanging out with the most. I don't know if he's here. He's already at the airport, but shout-out to him. And shout-out to the people at home, my friend group, Zixby, Kitten, Fall Kite. They've been pretty chill. And I think the biggest shout-out to my mom. She's the one she's super supportive of me. She willingly travels with me to all these tournaments, CTWC, Toronto. Even though I'm 18 years old and I'm old enough to travel by myself, she willingly comes with me. That, or she just straight up doesn't trust me traveling alone, which that's fair enough as well.
All right, so I think we have our Master of Ceremonies, Wallbant, with something very special for you. Wallbant, take it away. We got him coming up. He's got something to give you.
All right, thank you, Scout. Gwafey, you made the trip out here. You fought hard, and it is my honor to present you with this trophy, the CTWC Toronto Gold Bracket Second Place Award. Congratulations.
You're the best.
Thanks so much for participating. And one more person, gonna pass it back to Game Scout.
So it is time. We will welcome to the stage the Toronto 2026 inaugural champion, Meme. So, Meme, you have quite a history with regionals. In the post-COVID era, it was a challenge to return to live events. We had to take a couple years off. What was the very first regional you went to?
Oh, actually, I don't. Wait, which one was it?
I believe you won it. There was one in, was it Minnesota? Midwest.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember. There's so many regionals. I don't remember all of them. That actually tells you how many regionals I've gone to. I don't even remember all of them. Yeah, Midwest 20. I think it was 2024, right?
Midwest 2021, I believe.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It was 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to review the tape
Yeah. I do
on the
have
first
to say
region.
about that, though.
Okay, yeah. What's the story?
Because basically I've been playing Tetris for a while. A lot of you might recognize me from the COVID era, and I think for a while, after COVID, after live regionals returned, I I sort of lost kind of a little bit of interest in playing Tetris, and so I think for around 2023, 2024, which I know that was during the blue screen crash and whatnot. I sort of mentally checked out of Tetris. Didn't really play him a lot. And then Pumpy Heart. Shout out Pumpy Heart, by the way. Oh my god. Okay. The organizer of One Day. I can't speak. Basically he sent me just a message just asking if, cause he was driving down from I think Nebraska, and he was like, do you want to join in a road trip to CTWC Midwest? And at the very last second I was like, sure, I could do that. And so he drove me and another fellow Minnesotan, Rhubarb, all the way to Midwest 2024, and then I somehow ended up winning that. I hadn't played too much Tetris leading up to that, but that was sort of the moment where I was maybe I should give it another try. Maybe it's time for me to make my grand comeback to Tetris.
So, you had by far the most games played in regionals last year. swept all the competition. So that entails not only going to a lot of regionals, but making it really far at regionals, making it consistently to the semis, to the finals. I know you went through a whole journey as a player. You were rolling, and then there were some periods of inconsistency, and then you started taking off. You started beating the top players in the world. You took out a reigning world champ, and you've been taking out player after player. What do you think has contributed to take you to the highest level of the game?
If I'm gonna be honest, it's basically just DMJ. Otherwise, known as David Michael J. He's a player that I ran into at Kansas City in 2024, and he like gave me his controller, and then after that I started winning against people. So, like, it's basically just DMJ.
DMJ, a legend in the scene. I think that speaks to how this scene is very collaborative. Like, what we saw is over many decades, there was pretty slow progress in the game, especially in like the pre-internet era, the pre-Discord era, the pre-Twitch era. A lot of people had to invent their own techniques. Kind of everybody sort of independently figured out DAS, and there wasn't a collaborative effort of seeing, oh, here's the best ways to do things. And now we have this giant community, we have this giant amount of people where everybody's sharing the best tips and tricks. Are there any other players you've taken inspiration from as for how you play the game?
Obviously, I have to shout out Cheese. Like, obviously the inventor of rolling. Without him, I would not be able to like do what I do, basically. Like, we'd still be like, you know, hyper tapping, whatnot. But other than that, just sort of like other than all the like rolling and stuff, I think like just all the top players, like, it's so inspiring to see all of them play at such a high level, and like watching them play, like, it really like I like, even as like, I guess sort of like a top player now, like, I still sort of learn a lot from watching like people like Dog, Blue Scooty, Alex T play. Like, so I would say, like, honestly, like, I think it's the whole community that like really like is an inspiration for me. And like I think I've said this in CTWC, like, this is sort of like the first community that like I really like found a home. And so like I would like, there's not really any like one person that I can really like shout out, and it's mostly just like the amazing community, just been so welcoming, and all the friends I've made, like that's been like my biggest inspiration.
So you had some incredible games today, but I think the standout game, the highlight, is that incredible game in the finals. So how difficult, we talked with iBall about the 1.7, to get a 1.8 in the 39 super kill screen era. What goes into that? How rare is a 1.8?
Well, it's pretty easy. I got 2 in 30 minutes.
All right, well, I think we know what you have to do to beat me and just get, you know, more 1.8s. How hard can it be? So what's next for you? What regionals are you hoping to go for as somebody who is a prolific attender of regionals?
I think the next one is, okay, wait, so today is like, it's like end of March, so, I think that would be Midwest. It's like at the end of April, I think. I would have to double check that, but I think I certainly want to go to that one. That one's pretty close. It's in the neighboring state of Wisconsin, and I also like, you know, like, I gotta try the cheeses, so I gotta go to Wisconsin. So I would say Midwest is sort of like the next big one that I'm looking forward to.
And what has your experience been as an organizer of events? Is there ever any event that you've put on yourself?
Yes, I would like to highlight one in particular, one that a lot of like our friends have sort of been looking forward to coming up very, very soon, maybe in a couple of hours. Just kidding, not in a couple of hours. It is Mini D on the screen. It is happening in August. And it is in my home state of Minnesota. It is like, I think it's like a 30-minute, like, sort of like transit ride for me. So it's like, it's really short for me. But we've had so many like wonderful people come out. We've had Fractal, we've had Rhubarb, of course, from Minnesota. We've had Wallbant, who is the shout out Wallbant, by the way, for just putting together all of this. And it would not have run nearly as smoothly if it weren't for him. So we have like Wallbant, we have Hydrant Dude, so many people, and also Huff, of course. I always forget Huff for some reason, even though like he's literally the person to drive me. So it's like,
yeah. Well, I think it always helps when you have somebody who can help you come out to events, as I think we've seen a lot of shout outs to parents, to family, to friends this weekend. It's a real collaborative effort in this community. Do you have any final shout outs you want to give before we have something special to give to you?
first, shout out to Huff. I always forget things about you. I'm very sorry. I'd like to issue a formal apology live on stream for that. Shout out all the people in my B&B. Shout out Trap Zone, who I tried to get to come but didn't. Shout out to Wallbant, of course, and all the volunteers at CTWC Toronto for putting on such an amazing event. And honestly, okay, I actually do have to say this, us ending 20 minutes early yesterday, that was actually, that was insane, because, I feel like I've never seen that type of, organization. So, very, extra special shout-out to Wallbant and the crew for making that happen. And then, finally, W Jockey Pulse. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Organizers really come in clutch when they have an amazing schedule that allows us to finish on time here with the crowd behind us and get the festivities started. And I think on that word, we have some festivities in order. We have our lead organizer, Wallbant, here. Take it away.
Thank you, Scout. Oh.
Okay, this is good.
Okay. Thanks, Scout. And Meme, congratulations. You fought hard. You really put on a show. Man, this tournament, this whole event, it was such a success. And for you to fly out from Minnesota, it really means a lot, just your support. And I am honored to present you the CTWC Toronto Gold Bracket First Place Trophy. Congratulations. Shout outs once again to Billy Mac for creating these fine pieces of art. And yeah, congrats to me, our first ever CTWC Toronto champion. Not from Canada, but that's okay. Give it up for me!